Apron really goes with my colors today. 2 bites of that and I'm getting like a sugar rush. Do I have cat hair all over my face? Hello, welcome. My name is Katrina and you are joining me today for my Great British Baking Project where I bake along to all of the bakes from Great British Baking Show, or as many as I can. Today we are on, what episode? 4. Today we're on episode 4 of collection 5, which is Caramel Week or Caramel Week, depending on how you say it. I will probably say it both ways in this video and we just all need to be okay with that. So I'm starting with the signature bake, which is for a Millionaire shortbread, which is a dessert that I've known about but I've never made before. And it is a layer of shortbread, a layer of caramel, and then a layer of tempered chocolate on the top. Shortbread I'm not worried about. Making like a chewy caramel does make me a little bit nervous, so we'll see. I'm like already preparing that I'm gonna have to do it at least twice, but maybe I'll get it on the first try, I don't know. And then tempering chocolate on top, also new to me, so we'll see how that goes. I've chosen to do Liam's peanut butter and honey Millionaire shortbreads. They sound really good, they look really good. There were a couple bakers that did really good sounding bakes, but this just sounded like, I don't know, peanut butter and chocolate. We like that, right? Also, this was really what sold it when I was like kind of trying to decide. Liam's exact recipe is on the Bake Off website. So I'll link this in my blog post so you can make it if you want to as well. And I'm just gonna do it like exactly how the recipe says and hopefully it will work. All right, let's make these shortbreads. Tea first. I was about to say I'm excited to do one that's like a little bit easier, but I actually don't know if this is gonna be easier. It's a little bit simpler than making like 4 kinds of bread like I did in my last one. But there's caramel and tempered chocolate, which are both notoriously difficult and things that I am not good at. This happens every time I delay because I'm nervous. You just gotta dive in. The shortbread starts by adding flour, sugar, rice flour, and salt to a food processor and giving it a little mix. Then for the butter, 59, it's supposed to be 175. There we go. Wait, look, butter tower. I added the cubed butter and some vanilla and got to processing. Okay, so now that the dough is doughing, as the kids say, or is it? Does it need more time? Wait, look how that right there really looks like dough. Maybe it needs more time. I'm always so scared of over mixing things, and sometimes I under mix things because of that, which like isn't good baking either. There's like no liquid in here, so it's not like I can really create too much gluten. All right, please hold. Is that more uniform? Oh, wrong way. Yeah. Okay, that is more dough. 1 centimeter thick rectangle. Okay, so centimeter is like a little less than ½ an inch. For us Yanks. So this is the mold that I got. I don't know the size of the compartments, so I need to measure them. 7.5 centimeters by 2.5. I smooshed the dough together to make sure there was no dry patches and then rolled it out into that 1 centimeter thick. Using my fabric cutting skills, I cut out the rectangles. Luckily, my ruler was exactly 2.5 centimeters, so it made it very, very easy to cut the strips. Once they were cut, I used my little offset spatula to scoop up the pieces and pressed them gently into the mold. I wanted to make sure that the corners went all the way to the edges so that they would have nice, clean, crisp edges once they were baked. After docking each of the shortbreads with a fork to prevent puffing in the oven, I popped these into the fridge to chill for about 15 minutes, which was a bit of a project because I had just gone grocery shopping and my fridge was very full. But eventually I tucked it in and set the timer for 15 minutes. He likes being in the baking videos. You have 1 minute and 16 seconds. And once that is done, you gotta get down. I'm a beauty queen. I know. Down you go. I'm gonna wash my hands. Going in. Let's make peanut butter. The peanut butter starts with peanuts, which I am measuring out so that I can get them toasting in the oven. While I waited for everything to bake, I enjoyed some of my green juice, which is truly my new favorite thing. And then once the peanuts were toasted, I separated some of them out and then added the rest to the smaller version of my food processor, along with some salt, some neutral oil, and some honey. And I just wanted you to see how well the honey comes out if you use an oiled spoon. Look at that. I can't tell you how good this smells. I'm not like really a peanut butter person, but this smells incredible. And then I just processed the peanuts for a really long time. They ended up needing a little bit more oil so that it could get really smooth, but eventually it looked like this. Then I ground up the additional peanuts, the ones that I had set aside, just to make some finely crushed peanuts. Shortbread is cooling, and now I'm gonna do the caramel. Ooh. I started out the caramel by measuring out my heavy cream, and I know it looks a little funky, but see, it says it's non-homogenized, which means that it's just got some thicker parts. This was very fresh and very delicious, trust me. Then some vanilla went in with the cream, and that's all that needs to go in the small pan. In the larger pan, I started with corn syrup, which I don't even know why I have it, but I did have some. Oh no. And clearly it's from a long time ago because I could barely open it. This rubber band trick worked like a treat, though. It worked so well. Highly, highly recommend. Some granulated sugar joined the cornstarch, and then I got that melting on the stove. While it started to melt, I measured out the rest of the sugar and cut up the salted butter. It's bubbling. And then I just let it cook. The recipe said at this part not to stir it, but it really needed a stir. So I took the plunge and gave it a little whisk. After bubbling for a while, it was starting to become this straw color, which is what I was looking for. So I added in the rest of the sugar, and it clumped up initially, but it did eventually all melt. I don't know why I was stirring this with a butter knife. I don't recommend it or not recommend it. It's just what happened because I used the butter knife to clean the crusty sugar off of the whisk, and it just became my stirring implement. But I mean, it did actually work pretty well because I was able to scrape the sides and get into the corner and make sure there wasn't any sugar building up in those edges. So maybe a butter knife is a good idea. I've just been stirring this for so long and nothing was happening, but now it's finally melting because I just turned it up. I had it all the way on low, which is basically 0, and now I have it up to like 2 1/4. And I think that that's a better temperature for this. The color looks good. I have the cream heating up. My question right now is how do we know this caramel is gonna be the right texture? Like, is it gonna be too hard? I don't know. Is it gonna set? I don't know. Also, this recipe is confusing me. The recipe says to add 2 tablespoons of the peanut butter and chopped nuts. Does that mean a tablespoon of each? Does that mean 2 tablespoons of each? Does it mean I should have added the chopped nuts to the peanut butter? I think that's what he did. Should I do that? Okay. Off the heat. Add the cream. I think that is melted and smooth, don't you? Salted butter. Okay, it was starting to like get sugary on the bottom and I freaked out. So I poured it into a bowl. So I put it into this bowl that I've been using all day. And now I'm gonna add in, I haven't tasted it, but it smells really good. I think it maybe worked. I'm gonna put the peanuts and the peanut butter in, although I still don't know how much. I'm gonna watch again and see what he does. Showed me nothing. I decided to do 2 tablespoons of the peanut butter and 2 very, very badly measured tablespoons of the crushed peanuts. I'm debating if I should taste it now or just like wait for the whole thing. What would you do? I think I should taste it. Oh! I'm stunned. Oh my god, it tastes so good. The flavor is there. Now it's just, will it set? Stay tuned to find out. I scooped the caramel into the molds, leaving a little bit of room at the top for the chocolate. I used my offset spatula to smooth out any places where the caramel was sticking slightly up the sides, and then I crossed my fingers that it would actually set as I popped it into the fridge. The chocolate started with chopping a whole bunch of chocolate. Most of it went into a big heat-proof bowl that I will use eventually over a double boiler. And then a smaller amount went into a little bowl to become the seed chocolate. So once this chocolate is melted, I want it to get to 113 degrees Fahrenheit, and then add in this seed chocolate, the rest of it. I have never done this before, but I have watched a lot of people do this before, and that's how I know that this is called seed chocolate, because it is already tempered, and the idea is if you put the tempered chocolate, I don't know what I'm talking about, but I think this is right. If you put the tempered chocolate into the melted chocolate, then you will get tempered chocolate again. And it's like the cheat code for tempering chocolate. I think that's right. This is like really nice chocolate. It was on sale. I don't usually buy chocolate this nice. I also saved a little bit more of the roasted peanuts that are gonna go on top. Even though Liam didn't do that, I'm going to. It's not totally melted, I just kind of want to see, like, is it too hot even? 35? Stop being so hot. I'm gonna take it off with the water. I know, Pete. So horrible. Ow, steam. Okay, I've been stirring it for a really long time, but I think it's finally melted. Beautiful and glossy. Woo! I didn't know how much chocolate to do, and I think I probably would do less if I was going to do this again. It was quite a thick layer of chocolate at the top, and I did my best to keep it neat, but I don't know, chocolate just gets everywhere. I don't know how to make that not happen. I added the crushed peanuts to the top after the chocolate had sat for just a few minutes, so I kind of did this as a little assembly line, and then they were done. They look stunning, and they smell even better. I was definitely a little bit messy with my chocolate application, but what are you gonna do? It is what it is. Some of them I was able to push the chocolate all the way to the corner, and some of them I thought I did, and it looks like I didn't actually, so. Okay, live and learn. It says to chill these for an hour, but I think I'm probably gonna just let them chill overnight, and we'll taste them tomorrow, if I can wait that long. Hello, it's tomorrow. While I take these out of the molds, I'm gonna tell you what the judges were looking for. So Paul's big thing was that he wanted them to have 3 distinct, oh, it's so sticky. Well, it's definitely chewy. It definitely has 3 distinct layers. I think I'm going to try cutting around with my offset. Woo! That worked much better. It also helped because there's, you know, some chocolate drips on the side, and this, you can kind of cut those away. Okay, so Paul said what they were looking for was 3 distinct layers. What do you say? Soft shortbread, gooey yet firm caramel, and a thin chocolate coating. This is maybe not the thinnest chocolate coating, but it's thin enough. Prue honestly said like a very similar kind of a thing. She said caramel has to be firm and not chewy, but she also said that she wanted something special. They're coming out so good. They both look like better and worse than I thought they would. There's something about the uniformity of the size that's really pleasing, but they're a little messier than I thought they were going to be. I really was trying, and it's very difficult to make things very uniform. So that was like the main criteria for this, was that everything was identical, which, I mean, they're close. Like this one looks good from this side. It's pretty square, you know? But on this side, I need to do the like makeup girly thing. It'll focus on this and not my face. You see how like the edges are rounded? You can really see from the side. It looks like a boat. Whereas this side is a little bit more square. I never knew why they did that. Now I get it. This earned Liam a handshake. This earned him like the best accolade you can get on an individual bake. Obviously you could win Star Baker for the whole episode, but if you get a handshake from Paul Hollywood, that's like the big deal. So this is a good recipe. Now it's just a matter of like, did I do it well? Cheers. well, I don't need to think about it too much. This is like 10 out of 10 in terms of my execution, and 10 out of 10 if I would do this again. Also, I need to justify the purchase of this mold, so I will definitely be making these again. Wow. I don't usually love peanut butter and chocolate. I don't know why I decided to do this, because peanut butter and chocolate, like, it's good, but it's not one of my favorite flavor combinations. Josh loves it, but not so much for me. And I don't know why I chose this one, but I'm really glad I did. Wow. If you liked this video, Jack! What? Do you want to be in the video? Yeah? Oh, okay. If you liked this video, please like the video. You can also subscribe by clicking the button below. You know that though, right? Check out the blog post for more details, as well as a link to the recipe that I used. And come back soon for more. Ow! Stop. It's like love bites. Stop it. And come back soon for more videos. The next video is going to be a DIY video, and we will keep going with the caramel episode next month. And the next thing is stroop waffles. So I'm gonna have to get a stroop waffle maker. Oh my gosh, it's gonna be a whole thing. So check back next month for that. Thank you so much for watching. Appreciate you being here, and we'll see you next time. You say goodbye? Okay, love you. Bye. Oh my god. Jeez Louises. Yikes. Down you go. Good boy.